nervous about it. It's like we're having to get to learn to know each other again.
Stuart, I take it you've checked as far as you can. This is not a local man.
Yes, we've exhausted local inquiries, and we don't think him to be local at this present time.
What was he doing there? I mean, perhaps there for the Christmas holidays, or what?
Yes, that's right. It's an important period for people to think about, end of the Christmas, New Year period. He had some reason to be in Haverhill. Maybe it was casual work, maybe he's a transient worker just passing through in local cheap accommodation. He had some reason to be there, but we now think he's moved on.
Now, we must stress, we don't know if that second sighting 5 days after the rape was the same guy, but we've got a pretty good description of the man himself. Just take us through. I mean, he's distinctively tall for a start.
Yes, he is. He's described as a white man, 6'2", so it is quite tall. Described as muscular build, almost athletic. Short brown hair, brown eyes, and a very distinctive pitted complexion, almost as if he'd suffered badly from acne previously. And as the reconstruction indicated, he'd got a bad scratch on his face that the victim obviously inflicted.
And that musty smell on his clothes, perhaps he'd been sleeping rough?
Yes,
or
that's right. He may well have been sleeping rough.
A lot. Accent? Did she detect an accent?
Possibly northern, but again, not sure. Possibly northern.
And he had something on his fingers?
Yes, he did. Yes, he had a black gold onyx inset, not dissimilar from that.
How did he arrive? How did he leave Haverhill? Any idea?
We don't know. What I am keen to do is to trace the driver of a red car seen leaving Crowland Road about 10 minutes after the attack. It's important that we trace this driver. The driver comes forward and we eliminate them.
Now, you've had an offender profile done. We've got to be careful about these because these are statistical correlations. They're not absolutely perfect, but tell us what they suggest.
Yes, there's two important points that I think that we can take from them. The first is that the man has probably got previous convictions, probably for property crime, possibly sexual offences. He's committed sexual offences previously. And secondly, that this man has been or continues to be in a long-term heterosexual relationship, but other women may find his characteristics unnerving.
What, he might have shown violence or something like that?
Yes, they may be uncomfortable in his presence.
OK, well, maybe you recognise something in that personality profile, maybe you recognise the E-fit, maybe you've seen the man, maybe you've suspicions about who he is. Please, don't hesitate if you have. 0500 600 600 or call the inquiry headquarters 01 284 774 131. That's Bury St Edmunds, 774 131.
This man is on the run. He's Arthur Sims, 5'10", late 40s, and very hefty at over 20 stone. He can change his appearance convincingly and sometimes grows a beard and dons a turban. There's a warrant for his arrest, but apart from that, at least 5 police forces have questions for him about substantial frauds. If you've seen him with or without his beard, 0500 600 600 or 0171 601 2222. That's 0171 601 2222.
As you'll know, a man has now been charged with last month's London nail bombs. But tonight you might be able to help with a crime that seems equally hard to fathom, this time in Morecambe in Lancashire. A year ago, a postman there got a parcel himself. Inside, 2 mousetraps and 2 blank cartridges that would have made quite a bang if they'd gone off. Then, 2 months ago, the postman's wife found a murderous booby-trap bomb attached to their back door. This oil container was part of it, and it was just good luck that the device failed to explode. The next day, this letter arrived at the postman's home, basically saying, "I've warned you once, now I'm going to kill you." Let's go through the clues. First, the box. Gold cardboard, 5 inches by 4 and only 1 inch deep. Next, this message on the inside of the box written in capitals. Then there's the oil container itself. It's a Vauxhall one, probably from a registered dealer. But what's the Vauxhall connection? And finally, the writing on the death threat. Similar to that in the first device, does it look familiar? The bomb itself may look crude, but was actually quite sophisticated. Who do you know who's been experimenting with anything that makes an explosion? This bomb wasn't a joke. It could have killed. If you've got a suspicion, 0500 600 600 here to the studio, DS Charlie Byrne, who's here with his colleagues, or you can ring the incident room direct in Morecambe on 01772 410 410. That's Preston 410 410.
Last summer, a mother of two, Julia Webb, was bludgeoned to death for no known reason as she walked the family dog in their village of Sandyway in Cheshire. Hundreds of viewers rang to offer help after a Crimewatch appeal last September, but her murder is still unsolved. Now, though, there's a £30,000 reward, and maybe some underworld or prison gossip will reveal the killer. And we promised to keep up the pressure on the murder of a schoolgirl earlier this year. Hannah de Turville was found dead on Horsenden Hill in northwest London, several miles from her home off the Harrow Road. A few weeks ago, someone called Crime Stoppers asking to speak to the officer in charge of the case face to face. He called twice, and plainly he has useful information. If that was you, or you know anything about Hannah, call us now, 0500 600 600. The number's good for all our cases here to the studio, and please do persevere if you've been trying to get through tonight. In fact, there are lines free now, or you can call the incident rooms direct if you prefer. The numbers there are on CFAX on page 621. You can also email us at Crimewatch UK at the BBC, or you could call Crime Stoppers anonymously, as we've been saying, 0800 555 111. If you've been a victim and would like to talk to someone, the number for victim support line is 0845 30 30 900. Next, the hunt for a killer in North London, though frankly this could have been a tragic accident. It's a hit and run. The motorcyclist involved may not have known how dreadful the outcome was, and tonight we're hoping he's going to have the decency, the courage to come forward, if only to say sorry. And we hope his friends and relatives will put pressure on him, or indeed will call in themselves. It happened 6 weeks ago on Fortis Green between East Finchley and Muswell Hill. And the victim was Maria Basandre. She was 70 and had been a grandmother for just 6 days.
My daughter was born, my first daughter, and my mum's first grandchild. And my mum said to me that she'd never been so content in her life. On that afternoon, I don't think anything else was on her mind apart from my daughter. She was literally going to do what she really wanted to do, which was to get a little jumper which she had knitted, embroidered with the name of my daughter.
Tuesday afternoon in early April, and a would-be taxi driver was learning the route between Muswell Hill and East Finchley.
I was actually doing my knowledge, taking a few places, points of interest around the end of one of my runs. I was looking for the police station at the time when the bike went past me very fast. He was driving like a lunatic when he went past me.
Were you overtaken by a motorbike going fast down Fortis Green on Tuesday the 6th of April?
Paid more than me. She doesn't do anything.
She's getting paid more.
I know, didn't you know? No, I'm not coming out if she's coming.
I haven't invited her.
What are you going to wear?
Oh, go get an ambulance driver! Sandra, just go get an ambulance!
The bike had thrown Maria 30 feet down the road. The rider seemed to have injured his right hand, and the machine had lost part of its fairing and its right mirror.
I received a call saying that my mum had been badly injured. It just felt like someone had torn your life up. You know, you were on a high, and such a high, and someone said, well, no, you're actually too happy now, and I'm going to knock you down, but really knock you down badly. I turned up at the scene. There was lots of police around, lots of people.
What about the rider?
I think he was wearing black, but I'm not sure.
Well, he was coming down at an incredible speed when he passed me up there, and I went to turn around in this road and I actually saw the woman lying down on the floor.
The police just said, the bike, it was a hit and run, and he didn't stop. It's funny, I didn't really feel any hatred, I just felt shock that someone could actually do that.
A few minutes later, an unmarked police car